Second coils are good. They must not get a lot of those here because there are a lot of long bones here because there's no way they could squeeze a hole from down there. But if you see right here, they have a bilateral high and a low. So that means they have to probably reposition the patient and run another localizer and then plan a low.
Well,
in our case.
yeah, that makes sense. Why they have two localizers.
Well, that's probably up here for a different reason, in case you're like not, in case you didn't landmark on like pathology, essentially. Like let's say you're not getting signal where the pathology is, then you'd run another loc and you just adjust it.
So you'd adjust them and then reloc?
You would just reloc it.
Oh, okay.
And then when you do the calibration, it'll probably move the table as well. Yeah, so you can move the table from out here. I don't know how to do it on this machine. Oh, right here, yeah. But you have to know the certain values, obviously. But I remember, were you guys the ones who did the foot? You guys didn't do the foot, huh?
No.
Or the knee, maybe?
We didn't do that.
Okay, no problem. All right, let's open up the calibration. We don't need that other 3-plane look in the meantime because look, so scroll up one image. That works. So this is the hip right here. You have the lesser trochanter. You have the greater trochanter. It almost looks like a little thumb. And then if you go back up or down, I apologize. You have the femoral neck, and the femoral head, neck. This is the femur right here. This is the long bone.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we almost get signal down here, but it's just starting to cut off. So calibration, why don't you throw your slices on there? That's just where we're gonna get signal. So what I would put it more towards the middle of the femur. Yes, so something right there. So anything up here above this box right here, we won't get any signal.
Okay.
And let's
So
check over there.
Kind of sort of just like saturating.
I
there,
guess,
sort of,
but
not really.
yeah, in a sense.
Yeah.
So let's check your sagittal. Make sure you're good A to P. Let's check your axial. That'll be easier. There you go. Okay, you're good.
Okay.
All right.
So we kind of just want it like in the middle of like the.
Yeah, give or take. Keep in mind that the femur kind of goes like that. It goes outwards and in. So you're never gonna be fully perfectly on it. Like it's gonna change. If you are, it'll be for like only a little bit. So save, scan.
I have a quick question.
So
If we do the hip, do we have to look at the scale number like last time we do like for the side?
no. You'll use the same coil for a hip. It's like an abdominal coil. You don't have to do that. It'll probably be pre-programmed in the hip protocol. So let's left click and right click. Right click. Cut. All right. Let's run plan the T1. Sorry. We're gonna cut that other one. So let's open up our axial. And let's throw our slices down. So if we're planning a coronal, where do you put your slices? Yep. So you probably move that down a little bit, but you're probably not going to get that much signal. So this is a giant FOV. You can actually decrease it by like probably 4.
How do I do that?
Right here, frequency FOV. Just drop it down. Like,
4.
there you go, and you can bring it up a little bit because we're cutting off the femoral head.
Oh, right.
The reason why we decrease it so much is because we're not going to get signal down here. So why don't you right click and move it up? Let's move up the whole image, see how low we're getting. Oh, yeah, that's good. We'll keep that actually.
Okay.
So now I'm going to have you angle it on your axial and sagittal planes.
How do I do that when I
Why don't you just angle it on your axial first when you don't have a good slice? That's kind of what the second localizer was for, but that's okay.
when I window, how do I do the auto thing again?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm getting
That's
ahead of
okay.
myself. Drop down arrow, update all. Right there.
Oh, this
You
one.
got it. Update all.
Okay.
So you're gonna go a lot brighter. You're not confined to this. You can go outside. Yeah, and then to the left. Okay, and why don't you do that again? To the left now. Okay. see if we have. It's hard to see with the slices, so I don't blame you. Okay, so go back down. So there's the head of the femur. Yep, right there. Now scroll down. Sorry. Up.
Sorry.
Is it up? Yeah. There we go. One more. Oh, that's only enough. Oh, okay, whatever. Go back to where you see the most meat. Angle with that. But let's angle on your axial first. There you go. And now let's scroll through that and see if we can cut any slices off the front or the back. Yeah, so that's the femoral head. And that's the femur right there. So these are the heads of the femur right here. That's the hip.
Mm-hmm.
These are the little labrums right here.
Right here?
No, it's hard to see on that side. Scroll up or down one. Okay, let's go down two. One more. One more. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. It was the lesser throat cancer, not the labrum. I apologize. Thought that was it. But okay, so why don't we angle it on our satchel a little bit? Let's just basically go with the meat a little bit more. Yeah, something. Okay, not that much. A little bit more. Remember, if that's the head, right there, let's angle a little less than that. Just a little bit more. There you go, something like that. Okay, so now we can cut some slices off the front. Ideally, we don't really need the fat, so, but let's add like maybe one in the back. Alright, now let's close our axial. Or actually, yeah, let's close that. Let's do one next. There you go, and let's run that. I should have had you run the second lobe that was there, but that's okay. That way you could have seen the bone. So don't worry about it. So we're going to delete the coronal PD fat set. Left click, right click.
In real life, would you turn down the necks for the T1?
I don't turn down the necks for any of them in real life.
Oh,
That
okay.
is like, no, we're only doing that just to save time here.
Oh, okay.
Because the necks are there because that's what the radiologists want, really. The tech or the lead tech is in coordinates with the radiologist to be like, okay, these are the parameters we want, this is what we want out of this. So it's there for a reason. I almost never touch the necks unless I'm like an hour behind schedule. Let's put it that way. I almost never touch the necks.
Because
We only do that here because we have 11 people and not enough time for everyone to scan.
Because our previous instructor said that T1s give higher signal already than the T2, so we can turn down the necks, right?
I wouldn't though, personally. I wouldn't unless, it depends on your machine.
Okay.
So that's not linked, as you can tell.
Yeah.
So you're going to click, where's copy reference? Oh, you know where it is, right? Up top.
Copy reference.
To the right. That one. Oh, that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and now click accept. And now you can save it.
Ooh.
And you can turn off. Yeah, you can click scan.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can click scan. Okay, so I'm gonna have you delete the other coronal because we really don't need both. There you go. And now let's open up the satchel. So as you can tell, this says bilat.
Oh, so
Unilateral means one-sided. So why don't you pick a leg?
Okay.
I want you to bring up your new coronal. I want you to pick a leg.
New corona. Oops, did not mean to do that.
That's okay, it happens. So why don't you pick a leg now? You can window that maybe. There you go. And why don't you right click and hold and bring the whole thing down? There you go. You can even zoom out too. There should, if you close that, should be the zoom out button. Oh, click this little minus thing just once. There you go. Now you can properly see the whole thing. So why don't you find a good one where you can see basically most of the femur. So let's go down, keep going. One more. Keep going. There you go. Right there. Okay, so I want you to angle with the femur and throw the dots right on it. There you go. There you go. So now, let's check our axial, or our sagittal plane. I don't think we won't have a box over here, but we can check.
What do you mean?
Scroll up and scroll down.
Oh.
The box isn't there because that is this leg. That's this leg.
Oh, okay.
So that's why there's no box over here.
Okay,
so
so
scroll
if I-
down now, or
okay,
scroll.
So if I brought that over there, we might get a box?
Yeah, watch.
Well, let's just do this like that.
Okay, whatever you want. Well, let's angle with
Yeah.
it. Alright. But see, now it disappeared again. That's because you're closer to the middle. So scroll through and you'll find one of them like that. There you go. So you can probably center that a little bit more. Like you can move it posterior. There you go. And then you can angle it. It depends. It's totally up to you. That's your personal preference. You can either flatten it or angle it. Alright, so now let's check your axial. So why don't you scroll through. Now there are two methods of doing basically femurs like this. The first method is you do a straight coronal and a straight sagittal. So if this were flat right here, if it were perfectly flat, that would be a straight sagittal. We did a straight coronal. But the other method is actually going all the way up to the top and angling with the femoral neck. So go all the way up to the top. All the way up. Keep going. Keep going. Is it on the bottom? Yeah, go down to the bottom of it. Right there. So that's the other method. I personally just do straight, but the other method would be to angle with the femoral neck right there.
Okay.
Either or, whatever you prefer.
I mean, that looks fine to me, I guess.
Okay. Let's make sure we're covering all the meat. And then let's cut out all the fat. So now let's scroll all the way through your coronal and make sure you're not cutting anything out. All the way up. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Let's go all the way down now. Keep going. Yeah. All right. So now you can go all the way up and let's cut like 2 on the left. Looks like go down one more. That is the widest it gets, so let's cut like 2 or 3. There you go. That's better. Okay. So we can, why don't we click that and let's drop our next to one. Like I said, don't do this in externship or anything like that, only here. So save and scan. And now let's open up, we're gonna do the axial and the axial high. So let's, why don't we drop the necks while we're here. Alright, this is already series 3, so that's good. And now let's drop the box first.
We're doing axials over here.
So it's a unilateral.
We just pick one then?
Do we, does it,
It has to
We
match
did-
the other one.
we did the right side, so this side.
Exactly. Exactly. Your right and lefts are mixed on your axials and your coronals. So now, whenever you drop your FOV, like multiple, probably let's say 3 FOV. There you go. Alright, so now let's bring it down in the sight. There you go, and you're gonna angle with the bone, so let's find a good size. There you go. So now you angle with that a little bit. Maybe a little bit more to the right, just tiny. There you go. Okay, so I want you to get like 2 slices above the femoral head. Yeah, right there, perfect. And then let's right click and move down. Oops. And I doubt we'll get signal all the way down there, so let's cut like 4 and see if we can get the rest of that.
Whoa.
That's all it's gonna do. That's okay.
I barely even moved it. Okay.
So if you were to move the whole thing down, you can move your slices down and it won't do that. Just move this whole thing,
right,
grab it
right,
and
right.
move it down
I
a
see
little
what
bit.
you're saying, yeah.
Keep going a little bit more. Keep going a little bit more.
Oh, is
let's
that 'cause that's how long
see.
the coil is?
See what happens.
Yeah.
I see.
but it's also the FOV that we selected. So, so let's see, we might get signal down here, we might not, but might as well check. So let's bring up our new satchel. Alright, let's find a good slice and let's angle with it. So you're going medial. Yeah, we want to go lateral. There we go. Keep going. Keep going. Make 2 more. There we go. I want you to, yeah, throw it right on there. Rotate it. Oh, that looks pretty good. You can probably leave that or rotate it, whatever you want. But I want you to make sure that you scroll all the way up and all the way down and make sure that the leg doesn't go outside of the slices or outside of the slices. You see that? It's close up there, but not quite.
Yeah.
So we're good. We have our coverage. All right. Why don't you save and scan? Oh man.
Come on, man.
Alright, save and scan. And then let's go into the high, but let's delete the low. Let's double click on that, and then let's left click on that, right click. Okay. There you go. So let's we have both of our frontal T1 and our axial T2 fat sat. Let's find our money slice on the sagittal. Other way. Keep going, keep going. One more. There you go. Or that one, whatever you prefer. Alright. So, this is a bilateral axial, meaning you're gonna get both legs. So, what plane would you drop your box in?
Axial.
Yeah, perfect. And look at that, it's just perfect FOV. So, I'm gonna have you bring your slices down in the other planes. There you go. And I like that you moved them posterior. So now let's go to our coronal and let's check our coverage. So for this one, you probably don't have to angle it unless both of her legs are kind of to the side, then you'd probably angle the whole thing. But if she's straight, you probably don't have to angle it. Let's bring the slices all the way down.
Like,
No, drag them all the way down.
this.
Sorry. Yeah. We'll just do that for now. I want to see in this axial right here if we're even going to get signal at the bottom.
Okay, so.
So we're just going to wait like 15 seconds.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to have you scroll through your unilateral on the right. The one that just came up. Yeah, in your auto view window. Nice, it got all of it. So you can actually drag your slices down. That's pretty cool. So let's bring the whole stack down. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Let's try that, let's try that. And now extend them upwards. Yeah, that's good. Alright, let's run it.
Is the low one just for like the lower femur, or?
Yeah, so there was an axial PD fat sat bilat high and axial PD fat sat bilat low. That's because the coil is only this long. You know, if you get a patient who's like 6'2", you're not going to be able to get the whole femur in it. So what you'd have to do is after you run this one, you'd have to go in there, move the patient up so that you get the bottom half of the femur, probably reloc. You don't have to re-landmark, but you're going to have to come in here, bring down a localizer, and then run the localizer. Then you can plan your last one off of that. So yeah. That's kind of the case, but if they're really short, then you probably don't need a high and a low, you just need, you know, the one.
Okay, so for a competency, would we have to do that? Like go in
For-
there and...
No, I wouldn't make you guys do
Okay.
that, but it's kind of expected that you do the whole exam. and not like cut sequences and stuff. I'm cutting them just for time purposes, but if you guys are going for a competency, it's kind of best to do the whole thing.
For time purposes, like if we wanted to do one of our competencies next week, would you be okay with us dropping the next for time in case?
That's fine. I'm totally fine with that. Yeah. So if you look over here, this at the very bottom, that's like, you see how it's starting to get a little grainy?
Yeah.
That's barely where we're starting to lose signal.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you look up here, it does not look like that. You see how
Yeah,
clear and
that's
crisp
good.
it is?
Yeah.
Down here, it's just barely starting to get grainy. There's this little dark patch right here.
Yeah.
That means we're just starting to lose signal. This is the bottom of the femur. That would be like the top of the knee, basically, because that's your quadriceps tendon right there. This is your gastrocnemius muscle, and it'll come up and attach. Oh no, it's not. That's your hamstring. Sorry, I thought we were lower. But anyways, I bet on this one, I bet these bottom two, maybe bottom slice, won't get any signal. It'll just be black. But yeah, it's good. I'm surprised it got down that low in general. So this is the neck of the femur right there, or the neck. Yeah, exactly. Femoral neck. So if you see that, we're losing signal at the bottom.
Yeah, big time.
And then we're starting to gain it slowly, and now we have full signal.
Nice.
So this right here, see this? See those bands? Right
Okay.
there?
Ow.
Right here?
Yeah.
This is because the coil is too close to the bore, essentially.